Hey, talk about Enough Already.
Enough Already is the name of the new record. And honestly, it's kind of comes from a theme of enough. And over the last 3 years, I have been doing some work, quote unquote work, on myself. Yeah. And I've had a counselor who's kind of been walking through that. I lost my father in 17, and I didn't really grieve the loss of my dad until 19. I just, I had my daughter at the end of 17, and I felt like I needed to kind of be strong and, just be present for them. But the opposite happened. I shut down internally. Yeah. And so it kind of crept up on me, and I needed to go and just sit with a therapist and with a counselor.
Good for you.
And so,
wonderful.
Yeah, and thank you to some of my best friends who, it wasn't really an intervention, but it was like, hey, I can see something's going on. Maybe you should talk.
Yeah.
So I figured out that my wound, and it turns out that most people have a core wound. My wound is good enough. I'm just always afraid that I'm not good enough, that what I'm doing is not good enough. And so I get tweaked sometimes when I feel, it's not about performing. It's like anything in life. If somebody says, no, that wasn't good enough, like if my apology wasn't good enough, or if my cooking wasn't good enough, I just find myself getting really kind of sensitive to stuff like that. Yeah. But it goes even deeper where I don't feel good enough. And so I had a good friend redirect me to the scriptures where God just lays out, number one, that I'm made in his image, and that I am enough. And so I had to kind of recalibrate what qualifies my worth. And so that's where the theme of the record, I'm enough already. Like, I don't need anything else to tell me.
So many people need to hear that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm already enough, And of course it has a double meaning, enough already.
Right.
So
that's great.
I love titles with double meanings, but that's really where it comes from.
Wow.